The stars above Arden 9 were calm. It was just another normal day on the colony. People walked through the mining town. Children played near the solar towers. Robots moved slowly along the metal roads, carrying minerals from the deep mines. Arden 9 was Earth's biggest colony in Sector West. Over 3 million humans lived there. It was far from war, far from danger, or so they believed. Inside Command Tower 4, Officer Leon sat at her control station. Her screens showed peaceful readings. Life signs, normal. Weather, clear. No unusual signals. She yawned. "Another quiet night," she said to her partner, Greg. Greg smiled. "That's what I like. No drama, just peace." But at 02:17 local time, something changed. All screens went black for 2 seconds, then one by one they came back, but something was missing. The deep scan satellite was gone. Leon blinked. "Where's satellite Delta 7? Greg checked his system. "I'm not getting a signal, could be a glitch." Leon typed fast. "Trying backup link." Still nothing. She zoomed the orbital camera toward the last known position. Her eyes widened. There was no debris. No fire. No signal. It was like the satellite had been erased. Before she could say anything, another alert popped up. North Mining Base, signal lost. Then another. South Power Grid, communication down. Then 10 more. Then 50. All over the colony, places were going dark. Fast. Greg's voice shook. This can't be natural." Leon opened the emergency channel. "Arden 9 to Earth High Command. We are under possible attack. Systems are falling. Requesting." Her message cut off. The last thing she saw was the outside camera feed. The sky was full of shadows. Shapes moved without sound. No engines. No lights. Just darkness. Then the screen turned white, and everything went silent. Back on Earth, in a secure military room deep under the Atlantic, Commander Harlan watched the colony feed. He leaned forward as the last message came through. "They're here, we can't stop them. Please don't let this be the end." Then, total blackout. The feed died. Every camera, every sensor, every backup link, gone. The room was quiet. A young officer whispered, "Did we lose the entire colony?" Commander Harlan didn't answer. He stood up slowly, staring at the frozen screen. He turned to his staff. "Send recon drones now." "But sir," another officer said, "they'll take days to reach Arden 9. "Then launch the long-range telescope array," Harlan growled. "I want to know what happened, who did this, and why." 5 days later, the images came back. The planet was still there, but the cities were gone. The buildings were dust. The mines had collapsed. The power towers were broken. No bodies, no fire. No signs of battle, just silence. It was as if 3 million people had never lived there. News spread fast. Every human colony in the stars heard about Arden 9. Families cried. Governments panicked. People demanded answers. The Galactic Council sent a message to Earth. "We offer our help in investigating this terrible loss." Earth didn't respond. They were not looking for help. They were preparing for revenge. "Commander." Harlan stood before Earth's High Command Council. He spoke only one sentence. "We don't know who did it, but they destroyed our people without mercy. It's time we show the galaxy what happens when you touch a human world." The Council voted, unanimously. War, not defense, not negotiation, full-scale response. Across every human world, war factories powered up. Old weapons were pulled from storage. AI systems began calculations, and in the center of it all, a simple message appeared on every screen. "Arden 9 is gone. We do not forget. Vengeance is coming." The great room under Earth's surface was built to survive anything: nuclear storms, alien attacks, even black hole radiation. But today, it shook from within. Because Earth was angry, the High Command Council had gathered. 12 chairs, 12 leaders, all silent. A giant hologram showed Arden 9 before and after the attack. Before, shining towers, busy ports, happy families. After, only dust. No sound. No bodies. Just nothing. Commander Harlan stood at the center, fists clenched. "We lost 3 million citizens," he said, in under 2 minutes. His voice was calm, but each word hit like thunder. General Kale, an older man with sharp eyes, asked, "Do we know who did it?" Harlan shook his head. No signals, no survivors. But the destruction was not natural. It was planned. Precise. A warning. An alien ambassador sitting nearby raised a hand. "The Galactic Council offers to investigate." Harlan stared at him. "You want to investigate? Then tell me why no council sensors picked up the attack." The alien went quiet. Harlan turned back to the room. "We asked for peace, we joined the galaxy, we followed the rules." He pointed at the ruined image of Arden 9. "This is what we got in return." As the room fell into heavy silence, a loud alarm beeped. A technician ran in. "Sir, a pod just entered Earth's orbit. From Arden 9. Everyone froze. They rushed to the command deck and watched the live feed. A small black pod floated slowly toward Earth. It had no engine, no power, but inside, there was life. One human, a boy. The pod was brought into the military base. Doctors rushed in. The boy was barely breathing. His skin was burned. He had no voice, but his eyes, they were wide with terror. In his hands, he held a device, a memory cube. They played the recording, and the room went cold. The video showed Arden 9's final minutes, the sky filled with shadow ships, silent, smooth, moving like ghosts. No warnings, no lights, no weapons. Then, white light. Buildings melted, people vanished. Air turned to fire. The boy's family screamed, then turned into dust. He hid in a hole, recording it all. The last thing seen in the video was a tall alien figure, black armor, glowing eyes. It walked slowly, then stared at the boy's camera, and it smiled. The video ended. Nobody in the room spoke for a full minute. Then President Alara, leader of Earth's colonies, stood up. She walked to the center of the council and said 5 words. "We go to war, now." Across every screen on Earth and its colonies, a red alert flashed. Level Omega, full military response. Operation name, Black Rain. Factories lit up, drones took flight. AI war minds began processing enemy data, even without knowing who the enemy was. Earth had been patient for years, but now it remembered who it was. Admiral Kara Miles stood on the command deck of the Titan-class supercarrier Vengeance 1. She looked out at the dozens of hangars where warships were being built at lightning speed. "They thought silence would scare us," she said, "but they just gave us a reason to roar." And then she gave the order. "Prepare the fleet, all of it. 700,000 warships." It was no longer a number. It was a promise, and the stars would soon learn. What happens when you make humans angry? The sun over Earth disappeared, but it wasn't an eclipse. It was the fleet. From one side of the sky to the other, ships were rising. Big ships, small ships, carriers, dreadnoughts, even forgotten relics from Earth's oldest wars, rebuilt, reforged, and ready. People looked up from cities, mountains, deserts, and saw the sky full of fire. In orbit, thousands of hangars opened at once. Metal arms released glowing ships into formation. Each had one mission burned into its core: avenge Arden 9. Admiral Kara Miles stood inside Vengeance 1, Earth's largest mobile war fortress. She didn't speak. She didn't blink. Before her, in the hologram dome, ships appeared as dots, but there were too many dots to count. She turned to the Fleet Command AI. "Status?" The AI responded in a calm, cold voice. "Ready. 700,000 warships, fully armed, fully fueled, fully angry." Kara whispered to herself, "Good." then louder. Begin fleet ignition. The stars blinked, then caught fire. Engines lit up. Thousands of warp cores charged. Across all human colonies, children held hands and watched the launch. Old veterans saluted from their chairs. Enemies of Earth stayed very, very quiet. No one had ever seen so many warships move at once. "It's not a fleet," someone whispered. "It's a galaxy-sized hammer." On the outer ring of Mars, ancient silos opened. Out came Project Titan, Earth's oldest, biggest, most feared dreadnoughts. They hadn't flown in 400 years. Now, they soared like beasts awakened from a long, dark sleep. Admiral Kara sent one silent message to every alien system within range. "You watched as Arden 9 burned. Now you'll watch us burn the stars." No reply came back. No one dared. Even the Galactic Council, who claimed to be peacekeepers, shut their mouths and turned off their cameras. Because what they saw was not diplomacy. What they saw was not defense. They saw vengeance, with engines and teeth. The last ship to join the fleet was called Iron Rain, an AI ship with no crew, no soul, only code. Its job, finish what others couldn't, and its first words when activated? Targets confirmed, no survivors expected. As the countdown began, every warship turned toward one direction, Rythari space. The suspected attackers, the shadow people, the ghosts. They had not claimed responsibility. They didn't have to, because they made one mistake. They hurt humans. Kara's voice echoed across the command lines. "Today, we do not fight for borders. We do not fight for land. We fight for the screams that never got answers. We fight for every child that burned. We fight because they thought we were quiet." She raised her hand. "But we were listening, and then 700,000 warships jumped to light. The stars bent. Time shook, and the galaxy was about to learn what happens when Earth sends everything." The skies over Ritherian Prime were calm. It was a bright morning on the Rithari homeworld. Merchants filled the cities. Children played in glowing parks. High Rithari generals stood in floating towers, laughing at the idea that humans would dare come. They thought they were safe. They were wrong. Without warning, the sky turned black. Not because of night, but because of ships. Thousands of them. One Rithari elder looked up and dropped his drink. He whispered, "Those are not clouds." No alarms. No time. Just impact. The first human strike came like thunder. Orbital fire lances shot from Earth's dreadnoughts. Silent beams of light. No noise, no sound. But when they touched the ground, cities disappeared, not exploded, erased. 1 second, there were buildings. The next, only shadows remained, burned into the stone like black scars. From orbit, Admiral Kara Miles watched the data screens. Strike successful, the AI confirmed. Target, cities 1 through 6 eliminated. No resistance detected. She gave one nod. Move to Wave 2. The Rithari military scrambled jets, mechs, and defense ships, but they never reached the sky. Human kinetic spears dropped from the upper atmosphere. Metal rods the size of buses. No engines, no warheads, just speed and gravity. They hit like gods, falling from heaven. Boom, boom, boom. The Rithari defense grid crumbled in 8 minutes. Inside their own war room, Rithari commanders screamed, "Who gave the order to attack Earth's colony?" But nobody answered. Some said it was pirates. Some said it was a mistake. Others said nothing, because they were already dead. In the far distance, one last untouched Rithari city activated a shield. Children cried. Families ran to bunkers. And then, one human ship hovered above them. Iron Rain. It had no crew, no voice, just a cold message. "This was Arden 9's population center. You erased it first. Now, we return the favor." And then it fired. The shield didn't break. It simply melted. The city turned into smoke. One survivor crawled from the wreckage, looked at the sky, and screamed, "What are these humans?" Back on Earth, the footage of the strike was broadcast live. People watched the Rithari cities fall. Some cheered, some cried, but none turned away. One message rolled across the screen. "We warned the galaxy. Now, it listens." Admiral Kara stood alone on her deck. Her hands didn't shake. Her heart didn't race. She simply stared at the wreckage below and said, "This is not victory. This is just the opening line. They will feel what we felt." She opened the fleet-wide channel. Fleet 1, move to outer colonies. Fleet 2, burn their skyfields. Fleet 3, silence every signal. Fleet 4, you're with me. We're going for their capital. From the darkness of space, thousands more ships arrived. The Rithari Empire was large, but Earth had come with something bigger than firepower. It had come with rage, and now it was spreading, like a storm across the stars. The sky was on fire. The Rithari Empire had lost more than half its planets. Cities were gone. Signals were silent. The stars above them no longer looked like home. They looked like death. But still, they had one secret. One last hope. One final monster. In the deep core of Rithari space, behind a black moon with no name, a massive shape began to move. No one had seen it in centuries. Not even the Rithari themselves remembered who built it. But when they spoke its name, they always whispered, "The Devourer." It was not a warship. It was a world killer. Black as space. Bigger than any Earth fleet. Its surface had no windows. No lights, no signs of life. But it breathed. Each movement made space shake. It didn't fly. It glided like something alive. Silent. Watching. Hungry. Admiral Kara's fleet received the signal. "Unknown object detected. Size moon class, speed high, direction straight for us." She stared at the screen. "It's not dodging," she said. "It's hunting." The first human strike hit the Devourer's side. Nothing happened. The second hit, still nothing. The third hit, one human ship disappeared without a sound. No explosion. No wreckage. Gone. The fleet AI warned them. Enemy vessel is absorbing energy. Defensive systems adapting. Risk level, catastrophic. Kara clenched her jaw. "All ships, scatter and re-engage. Do not let it touch you." The battle began. The Devourer moved faster than anything that size should. It fired no weapons, but wherever it passed, human ships vanished. Whole squadrons blinked off the map. Kara screamed over the comms, "It's not a ship, it's a predator." Earth Command received the data in real time. Their solution? Unleash Earth's own final card. A secret weapon built only for one thing: to erase anything that could not be killed. Project Eclipse, one missile, shaped like a spear, made of quantum core metal, and inside it, a baby black hole. Its only job was to destroy what physics could not. The order was clear. Admiral Kara's AI confirmed it. Project Eclipse unlocked. Target locked. Launching in 30 seconds. But there was a problem. The Devourer was moving. Fast. Too fast. It was heading for the heart of the human fleet. If they missed the shot, Earth would lose everything. Kara made a decision. "I'll guide it in." She took manual control of Vengeance 1, Earth's biggest ship. She turned it toward the Devourer. The crew panicked. "Admiral, that's suicide." But she smiled. "If we don't stop this thing, no one else matters." She flew straight toward the monster. Closer, closer. The Devourer opened its black mouth. An entire city could fit inside. Kara locked the coordinates. Target confirmed. Project Eclipse. Fire now. The missile launched. Time slowed. It crossed the space between them like lightning. And then, impact. The black hole opened, just for a second, but that second was enough. The Devourer didn't explode. It collapsed, crushed into itself, sucked into nothingness. Gone. Silence. Then cheers. The fleet roared. Kara's ship floated safely, damaged, but alive. The Devourer was no more. But the galaxy had learned something new. Humanity didn't just build weapons. It built endings. The galaxy had never seen silence like this. After the Devourer fell, every Rithari signal stopped. No cries for help. No calls for surrender. Just silence. But humanity didn't stop. Because Arden 9 was still gone, and millions were still dead. Admiral Kara Miles floated above the wreckage of her ship, Vengeance 1, now patched and burning from the last battle. Her face was calm, but her eyes, fire. "We didn't come this far to pause," she said. "We finish it." She sent out the final order to the entire 700,000 ship fleet. Break their empire. Burn their name. Leave nothing that can remember what they did. Across Rithari space, the stars turned red. Fleet 1 attacked their outer worlds. Fleet 2 erased military planets. Fleet 3 dropped silence bombs, devices that shut down every sound, light, and signal. The Rithari ran, but there was nowhere to hide. In one corner of the galaxy, a group of alien species watched the war unfold. On their long-range scanners, they spoke in fear. "We thought humans were peaceful." "They were," someone answered. Then someone made them angry. Earth's secret weapon factories opened for the first time in centuries. Orbital maulers, planet piercers, sun disruptors, weapons too dangerous to test. But now, they were all live. In the final week, the human fleet arrived at Roxor, the Rithari capital, a planet of towers, glory, pride, the place where the attack on Arden 9 had been planned. Admiral Kara looked down from orbit. This is where they made the choice. Now they learned the cost. She gave one last command. No atmosphere strikes, no loud kills. Just one message. She launched a single device, the Heartbreaker Pulse. It made no sound, but it shut down every piece of technology on the planet. Lights turned off, engines died, defenses failed, and then Earth's warships appeared in the skies, like angry gods. On the ground, the Rithari looked up. No one spoke, because they all understood. Their time was over. Admiral Kara landed on the capital herself. She walked through the broken streets, dust in the air, silence in the wind. At the center of the city, she placed a beacon, a small silver tower. She tapped a button, and a hologram message began broadcasting to the galaxy. This was not a war. This was justice. You killed our colony. You erased our children. And now we've erased you. When Kara returned to her ship, she gave one final order. End transmission. And the beacon exploded, leaving only ashes. Back on Earth, families gathered to hear the final report. News anchors spoke softly. Soldiers returned in silence. Flags were raised, but not in celebration. "We did not win," said one mother. "We just made sure they couldn't hurt us again." Over 100,000 human ships were lost in the war. Hundreds of thousands of brave lives gone. But the message was clear. You can wound a human world, but you'll pay with your stars. The war was over. Rithari space was gone. Not conquered. Not rebuilt. Just erased. No more cities. No more ships. No more lies. Only quiet. But it wasn't peace. It was the silence of fear. Across the galaxy, in the great halls of the Galactic Council, alien leaders gathered in panic. They watched the final footage of the human fleet leaving Roxor, Earth's flag burning in the sky. One insectoid ambassador whispered, "This was never about war." Another added, "It was a message." A third said nothing. He just stood, trembling, looking at the new galactic star map. The Rithari territory was now marked with one word: void. On Earth, Admiral Kara Miles walked through the city of New Geneva. People clapped, children ran to hug her, but her face stayed still. She didn't return as a hero. She returned as a reminder. A statue was built in the center of Earth's capital. A mother from Arden 9 holding her child. Below it, just 5 words: we remember, so we rise. The human fleet, now the largest in history, did not come home completely. Instead, Earth sent one ship to orbit above every major alien world. Each ship was silent. No weapons pointed. Just watching. And every 24 hours, the same message played, on open frequencies. Do not touch another human world. Do not test Earth again. In dark corners of the galaxy, old enemies began deleting their invasion plans. Smugglers changed routes. Pirates stopped raiding human trade lines. Why? Because one colony fell, and Earth answered with fire from the stars. Young alien students asked their teachers, why didn't the humans stop after one battle? The answer was always the same. Because they don't count battles. They count graves. Admiral, Kara stood before the human high command. They asked her, what should we tell the next generation? She answered softly, tell them we loved peace. But when the stars screamed, we screamed louder. Somewhere deep in space, in an unknown system, a single Rithari survivor sat alone in a small pod. She looked at a broken photo of her family. She whispered, we should have never touched Arden 9. She looked up at the dark sky. A shadow passed over her. A human drone. It did nothing, just watched and left. The new galactic map was finalized. It had a dark red circle around Earth space. No one crossed it. No one even asked why, because they already knew. One colony fell, and the stars were never the same again.